Yes, guys, it's not Warcraft Monday, it's Tuesday. But welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Today I'm going to be reacting to End of the Line, Barny's Scarab Lord Adventures World of Warcraft Classic by Barny64. This is the final installment of Barny's Scarab Lord Adventures. It's been a long road, it's been a hard road, but Barny has found ways to make the experience that much more exciting and joyful for Barny. Achieving all that needs to be achieved. There's still a lot of quests to go through before a scepter can be created. So yeah, hopefully Barny64 can make it. Time is running out, but I'm sure Barny has a plan. Barny has a plan. Barny's been having plans since the very beginning, so I'm not going to be surprised if Barny gets through the back door somehow. I won't be surprised. But yes, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. I like this song. I like this music, the tune. I like it. Oh. Part 2. Did I watch part 1 of End of the Line? I don't remember. Oh.
Honestly, I don't know why I made the
Wait, 7 out of 32 quests? Oh, there's still a lot to go through. There is still a mountain of work to do.
intro so melancholic. I mean, sure, I don't get Scarab Lord, but this is a joyous occasion, no? 2 videos.
No. The melancholy tune it's relaxing, You need that kind of music. You don't always have to have party music. Although I do like your choices of party music, but this was good. This was a nice entrance to the video. Yeah, intro.
It was 1 year? Wow. Who saw that coming?
Now don't ask me for anything ever again.
Oh, and just real quick, the reason this says 7 out of 32 quest complete, even though I left you on 3 out of 32, is because I added 4 to the total that I finished later that don't have like a standard hand in. I just figured it would be easier to do it now because if I do it later, you guys might be like, wait,
The number has gone up, but no quest was complete.
Anyway, with that said, the video's starting. Oh wait, that means I have to edit a transition or play Dota. Welcome to the final episode. It is the 19th of August, 2020, 2:12 a.m. We join yours truly approaching the caverns of time outside of which Anachronos is waiting patiently to speak with us. Now,
2 a.m. You're playing 2 a.m. Wow. You have some sort of strength with you. Like, I would be dead asleep. I can't play games until 2 a.m. There's no way.
that I have secured my reputation as the greatest bug slayer of all time, Anachronos is finally willing to stop being a child and talk to me. Like, do you not know who I am? I'm the main character of Grobulus. I literally grinded through 11 bug farms. This guy should be sucking my contrary to his neutral opinion of me, though. Anachronos tells me I am the Hope of Kalimdor, and then graciously offers me a terrible ring to aid in my travels. If there was ever any question that this game's design has always been malicious, this quest proves it. Wow, did you just beat the most insane grind we've ever put in the game? Nice. Here's your downgrade, dickhead.
Quest complete.
Next up, Anachronos says, hey, you know that red stone you keep ominously including in all your cinematics? Go check it out. So we go check it out, and that's when we get the lore dump I explained in episode 1. You guys remember that, right? With the bugs and the dragons and the useless archdruid smashing the scepter so no one can open the gates ever again. Yeah.
Quest complete.
I was then summoned back to Anachronos, and this is the point in the questline where it's revealed we need to be the ones to find those gems and rebuild that scepter, because...
Okay, so, you know, even a cinematic or a lore dump can be considered as a quest that you need to complete. Okay. Alright.
Anachronos is too depressed to do it himself or something? Same. The whereabouts of the gems is, of course, a complete mystery. Even though Anachronos appointed a guardian for each gem after the Archdruid had his little Joker moment. Actually, I guess that wasn't his Joker moment. His Joker moment was probably when he joined Ragnaros in Cataclysm, huh? Man, that's still so shocking to me, too. Like, Ragnaros wanted this guy as his right-hand man? This guy? I mean, I know Executor set the bar low, but this guy he just took L's non-stop for like 1,000 years. That's like his lore. Even his gimmick achievement is harder than his encounter. I'm getting sidetracked. Each gem was appointed a guardian, but for one reason or another, every single guardian has abandoned their duty. But I've played...
Why not just throw the gems into a lava pit or something? Or throw them into the ocean? You know? Instead of giving them to guardians. Why do you need to guard them?
Dark Souls 3, so I already know how this one goes. We are told to prepare for the worst, and we are sent on our way. Quest complete. So this is the part where the questline breaks into 3 separate threads. Each thread follows the search for one of the 3 gems, and these can be done in any order. If you collect all 3 gems, you can bring them to Anachronos, and he will use them to craft the Scepter of the Fuck this! It's the last episode. Just get...
You know what I would do, right? I would go for the easiest gem to collect, and then the hardest one would be the last one. You know? Something like that. Go for the easiest one, and then the middle one, and then the hardest one. Yeah.
If you get the scepter, you get the mount, okay? But because this questline is wibbly wobbly, you could do it in any order, so wacky. To prevent any confusion on your part, you can check the title card of each section to know which questline we're currently progressing. You can also see how many total quests I've completed, and how much time is left until the gates open. I'm spoon-feeding you the content. I'm also just taking the time now to let you know that we have entered full chronological storytelling, bitch. The rest of this video takes place chronologically over 29 hours, which is now 28 hours. It's not looking good. But you want to know what is looking good?
The Barny Beekeeper plushie. Wow. I designed it myself.
The real magnetizable hands let you replace the weapons with actual knives. My lawyers have told me to inform you that that was a joke. Please do not replace the weapons with actual knives.
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, no. Hopefully other people are buying the toy or the plushie toy, but yeah, no.
No, you absolutely can.
Render your entire life's work corrupted with one touch of the magnet hands.
Oh no, I've corrupted my hard drive.
As with any plushie, you can put it on your desk, your bed, or even in the corner of your room, safe in the knowledge it will stay exactly where you left it. Any reports that the Barny Beekeeper plushie is actually alive have been greatly exaggerated. He's undead.
If it was a bit cuter than what we see here, like, I might buy it, but it's not that cute, so yeah.
Fuck it. Mask on. Now they'll never know it was me. When they said, hey, this is too much for one plush, I said, shut the fuck up. I want it to have a hood as well.
Hood now included.
As it turns out, spending 3 years...
Okay, with the hoodie, it is looking a bit cute.
Making the best World of Warcraft video series on the platform isn't the most financially responsible thing you can do. Which is why you're all gonna buy the plush so it was worth it, right? Right? Just kidding, guys. Only buy the plush if you like it. But I should tell you, if we don't sell out, I'm never uploading again.
Thebeekeeper.shop. A link in the description.
Fucking butt. Welcome to Azshara. Named after the Night Elf Queen who did the thing. You'd think this zone would present endgame challenges worthy of its namesake, but actually, it's pretty fucking dead. But that's because Azshara was never intended as a questing zone to begin with. It was meant to be Dota. Don't believe me? I'm about to blow your mind. Originally designed as an instance battleground, Azshara had 3 lanes, 2 large jungles, and a river running down the middle. Does this sound familiar? It's implied that the 2 teams would advance on each other until one base fell. But it must have been really fucking boring because it was scrapped super close to release. place, and now Azshara exists like this. Now, I don't blame Blizzard for scrapping their Dota Battleground. They never did quite figure out that 3-lane gameplay. But I do blame them for doing nothing with the zone in 12 years. Remember the big cannon? I don't think Blizzard does. Anyway, we're here to talk to this big dragon. This is Azhagos. Hi, I'm Azhagos. You might remember him from closing the gates 1,000 years ago, but
Why is Azhagos looking so ghostly? You know, he looks so transparent. What's going on? Is he dead?
What you might not know about Azhagos is that he is the Blue Dragonflight. Oh, wait, hold on. He is the Blue Dragonflight's Trinket Keeper, which basically means he's every Blue Dragon's bankroll. And he fucking hates it. He despises the fact that whilst every other Blue Drake is off in the Nexus banging mana straight from the source, having the sickest parties of all time, he's stuck in fucking Azshara, dead zone, no bitches, guarding other people's stuff from dickheads like me. 1,000 years ago, Anachronos gave the Blue Scepter gem to the Blue Dragonflight to keep safe forever. So what that actually meant was Azhagos was given the Blue Scepter gem to keep safe forever.
Couldn't he just say no? or was it like a direct command from his higher ups maybe? Yeah, poor guy.
Forever. And just like any dragon who is guarding a one-of-a-kind gem, Azhagos would be targeted by more treasure hunters than ever before. And Azhagos was pissed. 500 years later. I don't need a wife. My job fucks me. At this point, Azhagos had lost count of the amount of attempts made on his life because of this damn gem, and just like with literally any Blizzard character, if you give them enough time, he became unhinged. And then he fed the Blue Scepter gem to a fish. Present day. I cannot take 5 steps without some crazed orc or human trying to thrust a shot.
So he did what I said, you know, should have been done in the beginning with the 3 gems. Throw them into the ocean or throw them into a lava pit. Okay, alright. But feeding it to a fish, yeah, I don't know about that. You should have just went to the, maybe to the maelstrom, you know, and just throw it in there, in the whirlpool. Just throw it in there and let it just vanish into Azeroth.
Up, stick into my hide. Looks like life didn't get any better for Azhagos after all. That'll have to wait until Cataclysm, when he enters into a romantic relationship with a spirit healer. Real, actual lore, by the way. So now we know the fate of the blue gem. One of the trillion fish in the sea ate it. Also, because he's currently in his wacky, unhinged, edgy, it's not a phase, Azhagos enchanted that same fish with arcane properties for the lulz in the hope it would become a giant sea monster who terrorizes fishermen. However,
I just want to know whether dragons have also had relations with, like romantic relations with mortals, or, like humans or elves or orcs or anyone else that's not part of the spirit realm or magical realm, if I can say that. Because mainly the dragons that I've heard of who've had relations with other beings, it's mainly magical creatures or spiritual creatures as we hear right now. So yeah, I'm just wondering whether they've ever fallen in love with any of the mortals that exist on Azeroth. Yeah.
He does throw us a bone and tells us that if we make a Baba Booey out of Arcanite, the arcane properties of that metal should attract the fish, which is probably not a fish anymore, but some kind of sea terror. Azhagos gives us a ledger to take to a contact of his in Tanaris, whom he describes as a terrible, terrible psychic, but an amazing engineer. With any luck, perhaps this guy can help us out. And if not, well, that sucks, because Azhagos is done talking to
What's up with that gnome? And wearing a turban, oh gosh.
us.
I said good day, sir!
I fucking hate these dragons. Well, time to head to Tanaris and find this engineer. Or rather, time to wait for my summon crew to summon me right there, huh? Gaming. Handing over the blueprints to the engineer, quest complete, we ask him if he can make the Arcanite Baba Booey, to which he responds, "Can't even read this shit, bro, it's in Draconic." Another funny little prank from our friend Azhagos, who, by the way, according to the quest dialogue, knows the engineer can't read Draconic, which means he did this shit on purpose. I am laughing. Lord. I'm gonna kill Azhagos. Even though he can't read Draconic, the engineer says he's willing to give it a shot anyway. He'll just need a couple of items beforehand. The first item he needs is a Draconic translation guide, which is a completely reasonable ask. The second thing he needs are his reading goggles that his ex-BFF stole from him. Sure, whatever, he needs them to read. And the third thing he needs is a 500-pound chicken. Okay, this fucking guy. According to his pondering orb, his
Chicken? For what? To eat?
BFF is either hiding just outside of Gilneas fapping to furries, or somewhere in Outland being pursued by the Burning Legion. Luckily for me, we don't need to wait until TBC to find him, quest complete, but we will need to wait to find those goggles because he dropped them in Molten Core. It is at this point I realized had I not left that Peacebloom DKP earlier on in the week, I would have been locked to Molten Core and unable to even attempt this part of the quest. So thank you Dawnbreakers for hosting a scam DKP and being so unnecessarily hostile when questioned about it. Without you,
You see how things just work out for you, Barny? They just work out for you.
none of this is possible. But we're gonna need to put a pin in that because I'm leaving this raid group and joining Thor's. Why? Because it's almost 7 PM, which means the Winter Court are raiding Blackwing Lair. Among the 3 shards, the red shard is by far the easiest to obtain, as it was given to Nefarian, and I literally kick the shit out of this guy every week. But as I mentioned last episode, the overwhelming majority of my guild are already locked to every raid after helping secure 10 Scarab Lords. If I
How many times do you guys play or fight against Nefarian, you know? Is it like a usual occurrence where you would find him in a dungeon and then you guys have to fight against him? Or is it because you go with different guilds that, you know, enter into that particular dungeon where Nefarian would be? Yeah, I just need to know about that. Like, how common is fighting against this dragon, exactly?
wanted to attempt the segments of the questline that take place within raids, I would have to, and this is literally my guild's catchphrase,
Figure it out.
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 Fuck
Yo,
it.
figure it out.
figure it out. And so I figured it out. In fact, I figured it out ahead of time, because I'm always numbers steps ahead. Yesterday, when I was still farming bugs, I was also reaching out to pretty much every guild and GDKP on the server who I knew was raiding tomorrow, to see if anyone could fit me into a Blackwing Lair run. I received only 2 responses back, and thus was given a choice. Not between 2 guilds per se, but between 2 different risks. You see, the red shard only drops from Nefarian if you beat Blackwing Lair within 5 hours of starting the second encounter. If you fail, you actually get a bad ending letter sent to your mailbox from Nefarian himself, where he basically just flames you for being too slow. It's
Seriously? Oh wow.
pretty funny and completely deserved, to be honest. But therein lay the first guild's risk, a self-proclaimed casual guild that doesn't require world buffs or even consumes to raid. As someone who is used to sweaty, pathetically optimized, no fun allowed, clear comms, sub 1 hour speedruns, I was no doubt hesitant to accept that offer. And then there was the second guild, a self-proclaimed hardcore guild who had the rep and logs to back it up. Clearing in time wasn't up for debate, so why did I hesitate to say yes? Well, I made a lot of enemies during my time in the desert, and how strange, they are now inviting me to BWL? Now what would I do if I was them? Invite me for my first boss kill, then kick me once I was saved to the raid, thereby failing my quest, locking me out of BWL for the week and ruining Scarab Lord for me?
It's possible. It is possible that they might want to try and do that to you. But I still say you just take the chance. You never know. They might actually really be very helpful to you. Yeah, just take the chance, maybe.
I mean, it's objectively funny, and they might have gotten away with it too if I wasn't numbers steps ahead. But if it's one thing I can just never say no to, it's the chaos of a cursed casual run.
Welcome to Blackwing Lair Speedrun Edition.
Right away, this was already the most unique run of BWL I had ever been to. Instead of being Warlock summoned inside a wall like a sweaty geek and zoning in for free, we had actually met up in-game as a raid group, like socially, and cinematically approached BRM from the rear. This was especially fun for me because I'm a rogue and we like it from behind. Or do it from behind?
Stop. Just stop. Yes, I also like the fact that they taking this the traditional way, you know, organize your party and then you guys all travel together to the destination. So yeah, that's good. What's this light? Whoa. Is there something wrong with my camera? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So this is the first boss, Razorgore the Untamed, which I'm guessing is an ironic name because we'll be using this Orb of Domination to force him to murder his own children. That's pretty fucked up, but completely necessary. Because his mortality is tied to the eggs. If we were to just Zerg Razorgore and kill him, the eggs would explode upon his death, dealing massive damage and killing everyone. So you kill ads, kill the eggs, and then you kill the boss. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, bitch? But guys, I won't lie, this raid is really scaring me. They're cracking jokes on the mic, and they're not clearing comms. And worst of all, I think they're having, it sounds like they're having
Are we supposed to go daddy now?
fun? No one follow me.
No one move.
No one follow me.
Move.
Get away from
Stop.
that door. Next up, I and I alone have to enter the second room and speak with Veilstrass to start the Red Shard quest. The 5-hour timer starts now. A wise man once said the purest essence of WoW's gameplay is standing and hitting. If that is to be true, then Veilstrass is the most World of Warcraft fight World of Warcraft has to offer, because, wow, I'm doing a lot of standing, and with a buff that doubles your damage, you're gonna do a lot of hitting too. What's especially great about Veilstrass is that the double damage buff carries over to the next couple of trash mobs if you're fast enough, making the journey to the suppression room that bit faster. And believe me, you'll be thankful for it because this is the part where the raid slows to a grinding halt. Welcome to the Suppression Room. Designed by Satan in Hell, this room features numerous traps which slow you by 90%. These traps can only be disarmed by rogues, the time you disarm them for is random with no tell, and whelplings constantly spawn around each trap. And that's just the stage hazard. Because yes, whilst you have to manage those traps, there are also trash mobs you have to clear on the way through. But I don't get to do damage because I gotta ferry the raid through. It is a tedious, completely unfun shitshow of a section that spoils the pacing in what is an otherwise A-tier raid.
Are you the only rogue? Because, like you said, it requires a rogue to deactivate these traps, right? So, are you the only rogue? Aren't there any other rogues in the party that can help you out?
In my opinion. The next boss, Broodlord Lashlayer, is a completely brain-off tank and spank. You just stand and hit. It's classic WoW. If you die to this boss, you're a complete fucking noob. You just stand and hit. It's classic WoW. If you die to this boss, you're a complete fucking noob.
Nobody died, so it was good.
Yeah, and nobody died.
All DPS is going to be on Skull and X, except for one mage, and the mage will tank the techs, because we don't use sappers in this guild, because we're incredibly casual.
What does that mean? You don't take zappers? Huh.
I think I might throw up. After pulling 4 packs of techies, with no sappers, we were ready to engage the hardest boss of the raid, Firemaw. Implying classic is hard? Firemaw, by all definitions, is objectively a well-designed fight, fulfilling literally every class fantasy in one encounter. The tanks get to be slapped around and boiled alive for the duration of the fight. Melee get to risk their lives trying to pass, gambling on stack resist so as to avoid downtime moving out, and range get to stand back and safely press their one button. And it sounds so easy, right?
Watch your stacks, guys. Bunch of your 6.
Why is it that I see all the players clumped up together in their groups like that? I mean, why don't you encircle, especially those who are having the QE, the close quarter battle, right? Why don't they, encircle him and fight at different directions? Why are they all focused on one point, attacking the enemy? Yeah. Sorry guys, if you don't understand my question, I'm sorry.
Mountain, careful. Oh, I'm down.
You would be mistaken. Also, because this is horde gameplay,
You see what I mean? Everybody's clumped up in one position and they're just attacking. Why don't they just circle around him so that the dragon can't really choose which one it should target first? Yeah.
you really gotta watch that threat.
When do I?
Ooh.
That's not good.
Oh, dead.
Yeah. Alright. Just
That's
die
the
here.
first time
How long does it take for you guys to respawn?
I've ever seen that.
It's the first time I've
Yeah.
ever wiped. Yeah.
That's I blame Barny, honestly.
Just die now.
No.
Just die now. So anyway, we've got 5 hours, and it's gonna be fine.
No, we're fine.
I like your confidence.
We're not gonna make it. Okay, res up, rust off, cape on, bait on, cap on. This doesn't usually hap on. Let's try this again. And on this pull, the Winter Court lived up to their name because this pull
Was fucking frosty. Look, Mum. I'm pumping.
We then pull the rest of the techies, with no sappers, and I go over to this table to pick up this book, which is actually Chapter 7 of Draconic For Dummies. I'll need to collect Chapters 1 through 8 in order to make a complete book for the engineer, which I'm
This is like a quest within a quest within a quest. Oh.
now realizing in the moment. Hold on, I don't even know that in character yet. Hold on, I haven't even picked up the quest that allows me to loot chapters. Give me 1 sec. Can I get a port to Thunderbluff, please?
Barney, you're not serious. You're not serious.
It is at this point I turn Questy on and reload my UI. When I load back in,
But since it's like, what, 2 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, maybe, yeah, like, it's wearing down on you, you know? You're not really you're not really in the right mind of things to do things properly, yeah.
I am dead. So I figure, fuck it, Death Warp. It is a speedrun after all.
We'll take a short break while Barnaby gets back on the quest. We won't pull another boss. Shouldn't take that long. The part that
Guys, we're not gonna make it. My summon team then summons me to a remote island off the southern coast of Tanaris, where the engineer supposedly buried a copy of Draconic For Dummies some years ago. When we dig up the book, quest complete, it actually turns out to be a ransom note addressed to the engineer. I figure the fastest way back to the engineer is to unstuck to the Gadget Sand graveyard and then walk north. Instead, Blizzard's patented go fuck yourself unstuck technology actually teleports me to Kargath. And my summon team have already hearthed to Silithus, so I get a summon to Silithus, fly to Tanaran, hand over the ransom note, quest complete, and then pick up the next quest, and this is where I realize in the footage, actually, I didn't even need to go on this tangent at all, and it will make sense why later. This has just been a certified idiot moment, but in fairness to me, I had not slept in like 20-something hours. If I got a little latency in the brain, you know why. Also, I literally traveled through time.
We now return to Blackwing Lair.
Okay, I'm back in the raid. Summon me because I'm bougie, though. Ooh, and the trash has been cleared in my absence? All according to plan. Now, if I was to tell you that the next 2 encounters, Ebonrock and Flamegore, involve a lot of standing and a lot of hitting, would you forgive me for jumping ahead? Oh, that's too far. Man, partial wipe to trash? That's harder than the bosses? What a Warcraft, baby.
How much longer do we have, Barnaby?
We got, like, an hour, like 2 hours, so we're fine? I mean...
An hour? Can you do it?
We're not gonna make it. The next boss, Chromagus, is basically another one of those run-in,
Looks like a chimera, but with 2 heads.
run-out fights. The only difference with this one is that there are random debuffs that will infect random players at random intervals. 4 of the 5 of these debuffs are completely negligible though, and don't really require a second thought since they'll just be purged off you. But if you are unlucky enough to receive the 5th debuff, the Bronze Affliction, you will periodically be frozen in time. There is only one known cure, and it is eating magic sand. But I'm trying to kick this.
Well, we've done that before. We've done that before in the previous episode, and it didn't work out well, you know.
Stuff, you know, so I'm okay to sit through the 10-minute deal. Oh, why would you? I mean, one little bite can't hurt, right? I mean, I gotta stop eating sand. And now for what we all came to see, the
Man, I like this throne room though, and I like the jewel that's on top of his crown there like that. It's cool. Nice throne room, Nefarian.
Nefarian fight. Will this self-proclaimed casual guild see me through to a red shard, or will this be where my Scarab Lord tale ends? Well, the main healer of the raid did just find out that if you right-click Benediction, it turns into Anathema.
On me for it.
Something weird to my benediction.
So I'd say we're off to a good start.
So right-click it again in your inventory.
This is incredible.
No, it's on a half-hour cooldown.
Only tonight.
Man, these people are funny.
Guys, we're not gonna make it!
And with that said, Barnaby, this is your thing, so why don't you go talk to your boy?
Oh, okay.
I didn't know his name was Victor. Huh.
Of course, no final boss of any raid would be complete without the arbitrary minutes of killing ads before the main guy even shows up, but this phase is incredibly simple and is definitely not cause to freak out. So I have no idea why the people in Discord were freaking out so much. In fact, they were freaking out so much I heard my first
Clear comms.
of the entire raid. And when the casual guild says clear comms, that's when you know things are bad. For those that don't know this fight, once you kill 40 ads, Nefarian descends upon the raid and covers the entire floor in fire. And if you're not wearing your Onyxia cloak, the fire will kill you in one shot. So
His fire looks like just red smoke. Huh.
Tell me why the 5 minutes we spent doing loot prior to pulling the boss was not enough time for over half the raid to equip their Onyxia cloaks?
Maybe they didn't know. You know, maybe they're still trying to get a hang of things. Yeah.
Not gonna make it.
No, a lot of people don't have cloaks on. I do not as well.
We were not ready.
Now, you can stand behind the throne when the fire goes out, and this will avoid being hit, but it's generally considered rat behavior because you lose a bunch of uptime. Thankfully, though, we managed to get through the fire and the flames with 0 casualties. Nefarian now lands, someone rips aggro, and I die for their fucking sins.
Somebody pop wreck and pull him over. Who's doing it? I'm gonna reincarnate, and
How much time do you have left?
I'm gonna start rezzing.
We're not gonna make it.
Yeah, we actually might not. What started off as a sarcastic little joke was now beginning to sound like my actual fate. Every time you wiped a Nefarian, you have to wait around 15 minutes for him to respawn, and as you know, I'm kind of on the clock here, so...
Dude, if we don't make it, I will get Barney B tattooed on my knuckles.
Perfect.
Well, now the stakes have never been higher, or there's never been a better time to throw this shit. Depending on who you're asking, of course. Me, personally, I kinda want the mount, but in any other timeline, he was getting those knuckle tattoos. Okay, time's up. Let's do this. Barny, Beekeeper. Please put your cloaks on. Please put your... So we start the second pull. This time, everyone in the raid is prepared with their Oni cloaks, and we breeze through phase 1. The tank is also generously given the 2 seconds required to take aggro of the boss, so things are actually looking good. Now let's talk about Nefarian's main mechanic. Every so often, Nefarian will target a specific class and do what's called a class call. This is essentially some kind of debuff or Joker's trick targeted at one specific class. And depending on your class, these can range from being the most minor inconvenience conceivable to being capable of causing the breakdown of the entire raid and a potential wipe. In the case of rogues, you get teleported in front of Nefarian and cannot move. If the tank doesn't react fast enough, this happens. And you want to know the best part about this? There's literally 0 counterplay on my part. I can't do anything about this. I love when mechanics don't test the individual player ability and instead put your hands in the life of some other fucking schmuck. I'm actually not mad. I mean, okay, half the raid is dead, but this could absolutely be a kill. We just have to play perfect and get really lucky on the next couple of class calls. It could happen.
Mage call.
Nice.
Ice block.
We're gonna make it.
Keep him up. New class call coming. If it's warrior, we're gonna be fucked. So...
Uh-oh. Now, you guys want to know what's worse than one warrior call? Oh, I'll get to that in just a second. Because first, I gotta tell you that if we get this boss to 20%, all the ads that we killed in phase 1, all 40 of them, respawn at the same time and charge the raid. So now let me return to my original question. What's worse than one warrior call? That's right, 2 warrior calls, with the second one happening during the final ad phase. And now I think I'm just gonna let this clip play out because it is so difficult to make raiding sound interesting.
there it is right there.
I got him. Or go crest.
Orgo, do you have shield wall?
Perfect.
Good job.
No.
Okay.
Alright, Barney, there you go, bud.
Jesus.
We got it.
We had.
Nope.
Don't worry, Barney.
here.
It didn't drop it, Barney.
What? Remember how earlier I left the raid and joined another party to get summoned to Tanaris? Well, psych! Actually, that did nothing. I just love faking you guys out. It's just so easy every time. And you're thinking, I can't keep getting away with it. Oh, I will. You're already in my web and you don't even know it yet.
Wow, red shard acquired.
Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. So now we're back on the Engineer's questline. If you'll remember, we are currently looking for the 3 items he needs to try and make the Arcanite Baba Booey. But as we found out earlier, his copy of Draconic For Dummies has been stolen, and a ransom note was left in its place.
We've got your book, gnome. If you ever want to see it again, you'll do exactly as we asked.
So, alongside Bon Hoovy, Sarsis, Merrills, and Darian, we head to the location detailed within the ransom note, and, disguised as the Engineer, I place a big bag of fake gold at the edge of a cliff.
So a rogue can disguise themselves into any type of creature? Interesting. Alright.
Anxiety-riddled minutes later, one Dr. Weevil comes flying in on a flying machine. But for real, why did they make it take 5 minutes for this guy to spawn in? The whole time we were waiting, I thought I fucked the quest up. I swear, every single quest in this questline is specifically tailored to fuck with your mental. Anyway, the doctor takes one look at our disguise and sees right through it. Who could have seen this coming? He then summons a giant gorilla to kill us and escapes in his flying machine. I pop Adrenaline Rush and Evasion and start rogue tanking number 2. I figure with a healer, I can probably tank this for the duration of my evasion, and
I don't think that's a good idea, though.
and vanish the threat off to the warrior. Unfortunately for me, Blizzard's patented, it really emulates early 2000s internet. Spell batching technology meant that I actually didn't cast Vanish at all. I lay dead in the snow like the pathetic little gnome bitch I am as my team once again carries me to victory. If you'll remember, Meryl's was the mage who helped me get my Mallet of Zul'Farrak all those months ago. And here I am yet again with my content beholden to his kindness. I truly couldn't do this without my friends. However, because Bon Hoovie is a druid, he is useless and isn't carrying resurrection materials. He is instead going to leave it up to chance with cables, as will Meryl's and Darian. Well,
Cables?
I think we know how this one goes. Yup, but I can't be that unlucky, right?
They're electrocuting you back into life? Okay. Well, what are those things called that emergency doctors and nurses use when someone's heart has stopped, you know? Clear! Yeah, they're kind of doing that with him.
Right. Don't do me like this, please. Thank God. I'm up! Meryl's then opens a portal to Thunderbluff for me, and I fly to the engineer in Tanaris to tell him that the plan failed. And also, because we didn't keep to our end of the ransom, Dr. Weevil has obliterated the Draconic For Dummies book. Quest complete. So now our only option is to track down the last known surviving copy of Draconic For Dummies, which, because it's the Scarab Lord questline, has actually had all 8 of its pages torn out and scattered to the wind. Once I find all 8 chapters, I can use this book binding to refashion the book. This quest
Another quest within a quest within a quest.
Plan's never gonna end, is it? One quick stop off in Gadget Sand to meet with this chef, quest complete, and to discuss the possibility of acquiring a fat chicken. He tells me no such chicken exists, but does clue us in on one Lord Lackmiran, a chimera who, with proper preparation, may or may not look like a 500-pound chicken. And whilst I'm here in Tanaris, I figure I may as well hand in the red shard to our good friend Anachronos, who once again rewards us with a completely useless piece of jewelry. Quest complete.
Wait, there was a creature that I said looked like a chimera, and I should have said it looks like a Cerberus dog. Yes. Yes, it's actually, yeah, I made a mistake there, guys. Sorry.
Chapter 7 acquired.
Welcome to Alkaz Island. With the Blackwing Lair chapter safely obtained, I was summoned to Alkaz Island to murder Dr. Weevil in cold blood. After all, he's the reason this quest has become so long. I mean, because he has chapter 1 for some reason. 2 birds, 1 stone if you ask me. However, Dr. Weevil is absolutely not a pushover. Even with a raid group of 20, he is still incredibly challenging due to his menacing mechanics and large health bar. Every 6 or so seconds, Dr. Weevil stuns everyone in line of sight of him, and every 20 or so seconds, he mind controls a random ally who will now be out of commission for the remainder of the encounter. Now I could sit here and splice old footage to craft some underdog narrative about how this boss was difficult to overcome, but rest assured this will be the 11th time we have destroyed Dr. Weevil and
people, you know, don't like gnomes. I mean, look at this gnome. He's whooping their asses alone.
we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
Chapter 1 acquired.
Also, lore tidbit, this is the island where Varian Rin was kept, in prison. And then this quest is the only thing they did with this location in the game.
Hey, Barney, you've heard Ram Ranch, right?
Yeah, I have. Quest, I'm not doing this bit. Now, you might be wondering, why am I in a level 40 dungeon? Well, you see, the green shard was given to a green dragon named Aranicus, and this is where Aranicus lives. But wait, isn't this place like super evil? Well, yes, it's no secret that Aranicus and his crew were driven insane by the very same old god they thought they had vanquished deep within the temple, but he has the green shard, so I'm not really left any choice. But as I enter Aranicus's chamber, I'm not met with a large green dragon, but rather a Shade and Malfurion Storm Rage. Malfurion informs me that Aranicus can't be here right now because he's busy terrorizing the Emerald Dream. And if we want to get that green shard, we'll have to summon Aranicus from the Emerald Dream and purge him of his corruption. Now,
here we go. Quest within a quest.
do you want to see some fucking sweaty,
Disgusting!
I can't believe you even bothered to think this far ahead gameplay? Check out these summons. Bam! Random Teldrassil location to hand in this quest to the Wisp. Quest complete. But wait, I'm not done. Follow-up summon to the Shrine of Remulus in Moonglade to hand that very same quest in immediately. Quest complete. Any percent world record, by the way. I know it might not look like much to you guys because, I mean, you're watching the video, right? It's all cut up and edited for you. But every time you see me get summoned, these are pre-planned summon teams that real people have had to to level up and put their character in that position just so I can save 10 to 20 minutes here and there. Fucking gamers. Fucking game. So spread around Azeroth are these 4 emerald dream portals, outside of which roam packs of elite green dragonkin, except for the Duskwood one, but just forget about that one for now. To summon Aranicus back into our realm, we are going to need to obtain a nightmare fragment from each area. Actually, cut the music. Fuck the script. I need a real talk. These nightmare fragments drop from the elite mobs that you can find outside the portals, right? And you think, cool, just go kill some elites. That's me laughing. And this is where I make the music creep back in, okay? Got him. No, of course it's not that easy. This is the Scarab Lord questline where every quest is specifically tailored to make you want to exit game. So here's the thing with this quest, right? We still to this day do not know the drop chance of the nightmare fragments. Me personally, I want to say it's 1%. Based on my experience, I think it's 1%. Now, killing elites for a 1% drop is already fucking gay. But the thing with these packs are, they actually require a small raid because they slap. Alliance players might not know this, but on the Horde side, people kite these mobs from Ashenvale to Orgrimmar to just kill everyone in the city. But wait, I'm still not done. The other thing with these mobs is that if you kill all the packs and you don't get the drop, you have to wait like an hour for the respawns. There are people in my guild that spent literally days on just this part of the quest alone. It's not looking good. So this is me, and I'm in the Undercity picking up Draconic For Dummies, Chapter 4. Thanks for watching. Chapter 4 acquired. Welcome to the hinterlands. I grabbed literally anyone who was online and willing to help and figured we may as well start here. And I think I'm gonna let this clip of our first pull just play out. It's a clip where you say something like, I fucking hate this game. By the way, first mob, first fucking fragment, let's go! Well, that was lucky.
Or a terrible omen.
There's something with me getting really, really lucky and then immediately getting really, really unlucky. Oh boy,
I think that unluckiness doesn't last long, you know? It lasts maybe like 10 minutes and then you find a way to turn that bad luck into good luck yet again. So, yeah, it doesn't last long.
Hope that doesn't happen here. And even though we don't have summons to Feralis, I can just edit the video like, wow, it's like I got summoned. Now, I wish I could tell you that I was lucky enough to get the drop on my first pull again, but it is with a shit-eating grin that I can tell you it only took 20 minutes for me to drop my second fragment. Got it. We're out of here. We're going to Ashenvale. And now I'm actually not smiling anymore because this is for sure just a terrible omen. Also, I forgot to mention the reason I did the portals in this order was because currently right now in Ashenvale, there's an Alliance person on this questline too. I had initially wanted to be diplomatic about the situation, but with only 24 hours left.
You're going to make more enemies this way, you know? Just leave the Alliance player alone, and probably he or she will also leave you alone.
They could at least make it hard, like, at least make it fun. The Alliance had, as is
control.
customary around these parts, failed to put up any meaningful resistance. We took the leader of their group hostage and told those motherfuckers Ashenvale's closed. These guys really just took the fucking L, huh? Still in corpse?
Yeah, it's pretty sad, dude.
It's been 45 minutes. As the Alliance lay molding in their corpses for, yes, like 45 minutes, we took...
They might take revenge. Really, they might actually take revenge. And that's the last thing that you need. That's the last thing that you need. But anyways...
it upon ourselves to hit every single pack on respawn, but in fairness to the Alliance, they weren't the only ones molding. Please dispel the root. Please fucking dispel the root, dude. I need to tag it. Don't kill the thing. I haven't tagged it yet. I need to get dispelled. I'm rooted again. I need one dispel. I've been rooted for 40 seconds. Thank you. Listen, I hadn't slept in a very long time, so if I sound like a raid leader, my apologies. The good news is, even with my lack of sleep, I was able to get clips like this. The guy in the back. Let's get this guy. I'm gonna distract.
It's just someone trying to rescue Seer.
Never.
That was a big distract. And it is with a huge ego I get to tell you that the Alliance all left after that. But someone else showed up. Frywood. The same Frywood who had just last week griefed me relentlessly, Frywood? The same Frywood who had to be camped into submission, Frywood? Frywood Redemption Arc, Frywood? I was skeptical, but at 2 AM server time, I will take anyone I can get. This is where Frywood whips out his Ritual of Doom, which is basically the World of Warcraft equivalent of Russian roulette. I don't think I've ever seen this ability be used. Ever. Why me? Why me? Well played, Frywood. Alas, the hand of fate would continue to gesture towards me the middle finger as I found myself going dry on the Ashenvale fragment hour after hour, pack after pack, respawn after respawn. Worst of all, word spreads fast, and when you hear that the last remaining Scarab Lord is now 12 hours deep bottlenecked in Ashenvale, why, that's the perfect time for a 40-man Alliance raid to pull up and kill that last little bit of hope you have left. But they didn't know who they were griefing. My busy bees are everywhere. You think I wasn't gonna find out? Yeah, we got the fuck out of there just as the raid showed up. Nice try, bitch. Next time, don't pick the one person who's always numbers steps ahead.
Welcome to Molten Core.
So the plan was always that if we got griefed at Ashenvale, we would just make a beeline straight for Molten Core. Like, what are they gonna do, grief us in a raid? And that way I can try and get my goggles whilst the heat dies down. We have 12 hours left, by the way. Also, I just want to say something really quickly to the people that might be concerned about my health, like in real life. During the time in which we were in Ashenvale waiting for respawns, I would spend those like 45-minute intervals sleeping at my desk. I wouldn't recommend it. So the
Sleeping on the desk. Wow. Yeah, I also wouldn't recommend that. You need the bed, you need a pillow, you need the blanket, you know, and just sleep. But anyways.
Engineer's ex-BFF dropped the goggles somewhere in here, and what that means for us as players is the goggles drop from trash, and it's like a 10% drop chance. Go fuck yourself. But everything will be okay because I have my lucky charm. No, not this thing. I mean this guy. Accidentals. Let me tell you a little story about accidentals. So like 2 weeks ago, I'm doing this exact same trash farm for someone else's goggles, and we go like 3 full hours of just killing every single mob in Molten Core with no luck. I'm talking several resets of Molten Core, like no bosses, just trash. Like you don't even get to come. But as
And now he's giving back that favor to you.
soon as we invite Axie, wow. And trust me when I tell you, I've got a good eye for like lucky things, right? That's like my whole bit. So we start pulling trash at noon, and 25 minutes later.
By the way, I'm gonna say once again.
Say it.
Hey, this was my ID, Barney.
I know.
Zoned in first.
Listen, I said you were gonna be my good luck, my little good luck charm. Now, could you bring that luck to Ashenvale, please? The goggles had been a piece of cake. Terrible omen. So it was back to hitting our heads against the brick wall that is Ashenvale. We had just spent 12 uninterrupted hours there, but going forward, I would need to move around the map as if I'm being pursued by a large raid, which, by the way, I am. Word on the street is that they are waiting right now outside of this very Molten Core in preparation for us to reset the trash. So
Yeah, they're waiting to jump on you guys.
they'll never see it coming if I get summoned to Ashenvale to kill all the packs that have, in the meantime, respawned. Still no fragment, by the way. And then fly to Winterspring. Why Winterspring, you ask? Because your bitch want to spring on this dick. Because I can kill demons in Winterspring to try and get Chapter 3 to drop. But the real reason I'm doing this is, I want to bait the Alliance raid away from Ashenvale so that when respawns are back up, I can just get summoned in and take them. And once again, just as the Alliance were pulling up on my location, this game of cat and mouse had grown so fun for me that I wasn't even bothered by the fact we went another entire cycle with no drop. 9 hours remain, and here's where I execute my most dastardly bamboozle yet. I went straight back to Winterspring.
Chapter 3 acquired.
So I took a summon right back to Ashenvale, despite the fact that there were no spawns, just to fuck with the Alliance really. But as soon as that first pack did respawn, we're gonna get Square next. I got the fragment. Let's fucking go, guys! Let's do it! Sorry.
Wow, that hurt my ears.
I'm so sorry.
that's
I didn't mean to
fine.
scream. I'm so sorry.
8 hours remain.
Ashenvale had stolen 15 hours from me, but no more. My green dragon farm had come to an end, and I was ready to get that fat chicken. With the Alliance closing in on our position, we did something no Horde player would ever do. Portal to Thunderbluff. Genius mix-up. This also let me take some meat out of the bank that I prepared earlier, like literally a year ago. I need 20 total for the quest, but I'll get 3 later. A few of us were then summoned to the Isle of Dread in Feralis to kill the unique Chimera elite Lord Lackmiran, and it is now later. See how efficient I am? I got the corpse of Lord Lackmiran and the rest of the meat that I needed in 1 kill. Are you not entertained? I've been planning this for years. Also, the Alliance raid saw that we were in Feralis and pulled up thinking we were at the Green Dragons. Like, no one's there. L. By the time they figured out what we were doing, it was already too late. We had Hearth to Kargath and started making the journey south to the Tainted Scar. It is
The Alliance might have the numbers in World of Warcraft, but I'm sure the Horde players have, you know, the tenacity, the enterprising thought process in thinking outside the box, doing things differently, and, you know, it's just something that the Alliance cannot adapt to. Or maybe it's just Barny 64's, you know, initiatives that just make it seem as if, you know, the Alliance just can't seem to adapt. Yeah.
Here that I would get chapter 2 on the, and I know it seems like I've like scripted this, but I got chapter 2 on the first pull. Guys.
Let's get out of here. Yeah, both. Wow. What the fuck?
Chapter 2 acquired. Next up, the Duskwood Nightmare Fragment. To conquer the challenge that lay before me, I would need to this time gather a full raid because unlike the other Nightmare Fragments, this last fragment is dropped by a unique boss that can only be summoned by this quest. However, I can't just be standing around in Duskwood giving away our position, summoning people as we invite them, because this boss we're about to fight is incredibly griefable. Much like a world boss, if you die to the Twilight Corruptor, he grows in size and strength, and because this boss actually hits hard, one death is all it can take for the encounter to quickly spiral out of control. If the Alliance show up here in Duskwood, it is absolutely GG no re for my Scarab Lord because they will be able to just endlessly sacrifice themselves to the boss to ensure we can never kill him. Now more than ever, I need to be stealthy. Now more than ever,
Stealthy and as fast as possible.
I need to be unpredictable. Now more than ever, I need to be a rogue. Ow. And God, I fucking love being a rogue. Because you already know I figured out exactly what we're gonna do.
World buff alert.
Is putting a fake world buff notice in the world buff Discord immoral? I'll let you decide. But I did what needed to be done.
It is, because now it's under false pretenses.
Because if the Alliance, who are definitely stalking this Discord, see that we are dropping a heart, they will probably assume that we are about to go raiding. And because I still do actually need to kill Onyxia and Ragnaros on this questline, it's the perfect plan. They think we're meeting up here to get a buff and then fly to Molten Core, but actually we're just gonna walk into Duskwood. I'm a genius. See?
This is where you find out if Shaman love you or not.
Yeah, they only had 10 minutes to buff
Oh, that guy's walking on the water.
everyone with the same shit.
March.
We had broken into Duskwood, and the Alliance/Whoing Me would know exactly what we were getting up to. And with Duskwood being so close to Stormwind, we had just shy of 10 minutes to kill this boss and get out, or it's done for. And I know that it might look like I'm just standing still here, but the boss starts spawning the moment I walk into the next subzone. So here, I'm waiting for my raid to get in position, because trust me, I've done this boss 10 times now. So outside of the getting larger mechanic, which I talked about earlier, this boss basically does 2 things. The first move, which he spams, knocks you away and applies a dot that cannot be dispelled. And the second move is just a mind control, because, yeah, just throw in a mind control. If you haven't already been able to tell yet, the main way we deal with this boss is to pull him back to this pillar, which lets the caster's line of sight, and the tanks don't have to worry about getting knocked away. That's a problem for the melee. And
That's a plan.
yeah, I'd like to say we struggled with this boss, but again, this is the 11th time I've killed this thing. Anything short of a perfect pull would just be embarrassing. Like, could you imagine? This is how people talk about Classic WoW, like you don't just stand and hit. Only 4 minutes had passed since we first entered Duskwood, but that was all the time we needed to get the fragment and
Get out, the Alliance are coming.
get out. The Alliance raid had been thwarted once more, but I made no efforts to disguise our next move. In fact, of all the places we could have gone next, I picked the most obvious because I'm disrespectful like that. Welcome to Moonglade. Buy my merch. With all 4 nightmare fragments gathered, quest complete, it was time to summon Aranicus from the Emerald Dream and purge him of his corruption once and for all. As we walk up to town alongside Remulus, I'm going to take this time to go over the Aranicus encounter using footage I got during other people's questlines.
Man, this creature is weird. The way it's walking. I find that a bit unnervy. Yeah.
Because, you know, I've done this 10 times already. So this fight has 2 phases. In phase 1, shades continually spawn and run at literally whoever, doing tons of damage and AoE shadow bolts. Oh, and they can also AoE fear. Our strat is to hide inside this building out of line of sight so they're more likely to target the town guards, so you can DPS them down in more manageable numbers. Oh, and yeah, you occasionally get like a big dude. So that's phase 1. If you haven't wiped to shades after a random amount of time each pull, phase 2 begins. All the shades disappear and Aranicus descends from the sky. And here it is my pleasure to get to show you this World of Warcraft classic exclusive dragon fight.
But why is he transparent in this type of way? I'm not sure what's going on.
Where you stand and hit. How did they come up with this? Around 20% health, a roleplay will begin, and during this you can actually kill Aranicus if you really want to, but you're meant to wait so that he turns green and the quest completes. So, you know, like if you were an enemy raid looking to grief, you would maybe want to kill the dragon, yeah? So that's the encounter.
Okay, so maybe they make it that way, like it's transparent to allow, you know, different players who are viewing this dragon in different directions, you know, they're not obstructed, like they know what's happening in front of them, you know, like should I say behind the dragon, like there are other teammates who are fighting against the dragon. Maybe it's for something like that, so their vision is not obstructed. Yeah, I don't know, but I just find it, you know, quite weird that, you know, most of these dragons are transparent. The blue one was transparent, and now the green one here is also transparent. I think the only one that wasn't was Nefarious. Yes, he wasn't transparent. Like you could actually see him and he was fighting against, you know, the raid party. So, yeah.
So we're about to start after a short roleplay where the bad guy, you know, says the line, I'm gonna get you all. And then we're like, no, Aranicus, we're gonna purge you of your corruption, bitch. Combat begins.
They're up. Shades up. We're here, Barny. And don't DPS too much, Barny. Keep over here.
Yeah. Now, because we were pretty sure if I die, the quest fails, it was in my best interest that, for as long as possible, I should sit in the corner and do nothing. Said the Alliance spy from behind us. By the way, this is a neutral zone, so if any PvP breaks out, the town guards will swiftly put the culprits to death. All I could do was sit back and hope that the RNG in phase 1 was good. And everything was going pretty good. Until it didn't. This was a certified not good moment. I would now have to walk back down to Remulus, restart the escort, and try again. And we really didn't have this time to spare. As I started the RP for a second time, the Alliance dogs began to summon their raid of griefers right in front of me, taunting me. And they thought they were so smart too.
Oh look, you can't attack us.
Well, guess what? If you're showing up to grief an encounter where part of the encounter is that shades will run to the closest person within line of sight, you probably don't want to summon your fucking team of morons where the shades spawn. You were so close to catching me too. Off-screen, the Alliance summoners die molding as they are ravaged by shades. This buys us time to get into a favorable position from which we are able to secure a smooth phase 1, so really, I should be thanking the Alliance. Like really, I cannot understate just how useful it was to have like 6 or 7 bozos just die outside. After
You Alliance dogs.
a few minutes of killing shades, Aranicus descends and we get to experience some hidden content gameplay. Wow. I have never seen anything like this before. And then we redeem
Like what?
Draconic. Every dragon fight is the same. On that note, we need to move to Onyxia. As my team started heading towards Onyxia's lair, I walked back to Remulus to hand in the quest. Quest complete.
Wow! Green shard acquired!
Thunderbluff portal for the mix-up that even I didn't see coming. Blah, blah, blah. I'm at Onyxia's lair. Remind yourself, though, raids reset in literally a few hours. Finding people not yet locked to Onyxia was proving to be difficult, and it seemed getting a full 40-man raid together for this particular fight was going to be out of the question. 23 was the number of valiant heroes that would journey with me into the dragon's lair.
So half. Okay, half strength. Let's see if you guys can make it against Onyxia with half strength.
Departure from the recommended 40 to be certain, but this fight is a marathon, not a sprint. If we all play like the smart, genius gamers I know we are, this should be a piece of cake. Okay, listen the fuck up. You're gonna DPS very, very slowly. Now, and by slowly, I mean fucking slow. If you get aggro, it means you're gonna lose 50 DKP because you didn't know what the fuck to do.
Handle it! I'm sorry. This is the place... Let's just continue. Let's just continue.
And watch the fucking tail. You know what I like about Classic? It doesn't matter how long you've played the game, what gear you have, or what bosses you have on farm. All it takes is for one greedy button press into a taunt resist, and now the mage has aggro. Good luck fixing it, and watch the fucking tail.
Oh my god.
We have whelps, turn around.
Many whelps! Left side! Handle it! God, I've always wanted to say that. So we handle the whelp.
Oh, buddy. Oh, gosh.
And then slowly take Onyxia through phase 1 where you... Once she dips below 60% health, she transitions into phase 2 where she flies up into the air and starts launching fireballs at people. During this phase, only the ranged can hit her, and given that we only have 7 ranged and she stays up there till 40%, this is going to be a very long air phase. Also, I feel like I'm missing something. I think... Wait, if she stays up in the air, doesn't she start, like, covering the ground? I knew I was forgetting something. And it wasn't just me. Some of us were so used to this boss being dead already that we completely forgot she actually has mechanics and a moveset. World of Warcraft is one of those funny games where the better you become at the game, the worse you actually become at the game. And if that doesn't make sense to you, it's because you're bad, but that's a good thing, I promise. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is truly bliss. Do you think my WoW logs make me happy? Do you think raiding makes me happy? Listen up. There is no joy to be had from mastering World of Warcraft, okay? There is only pain. Nevertheless, we pushed through the longest phase 2 of my entire life. 6 people had perished, leaving only 17 of us to finish phase 3. And actually, Withers has aggro, so let's make that 7 deaths. Phase 3 has a fear, by the way. And watch the fucking tail. But as I said earlier, this fight is a marathon, not a sprint. And even with no world buffs, even with 10 people dead, and even when I rip aggro at the last second intentionally and try to turn the boss to tail swipe the raid, hey, what's the fucking tail? This fight was fucking game.
Oh my fucking god.
This guy does not
I will take that, Draconic For Dummies.
Chapter 6 acquired.
2 bags? It's as they say, scuffed equals stuff, which is why I find it no surprise K-Bay rolled a 100. After all, is there anything more scuffed than...
On me for it. Something weird to my benediction.
I dished out the loot and then it was off to Tanaris to cash in on some dopamine points. I gave the goblin my meat, quest complete, and then he says he needs some salt and rocket fuel, which I already have, quest complete. He then gives us a fat chicken, which we hand in to the engineer immediately, quest complete, and we also hand in the goggles from Molten Core, quest complete. Speaking of Molten Core, Ragnaros has a Draconic For Dummies chapter I need, and it is nearly 7 server time. The Winter Court had once again agreed to let me leech their raid because I'm just such a nice person, but really because I have like really good luck. I'm actually insufferable.
Yeah, me too.
Man, look at all this great
Ooh, big strikers.
I understand why Final Boss recruited Barnaby at this point.
Why?
Barnaby or Bonnie? I heard Barnaby. Doesn't matter.
Because you bring the loot.
I have a double Gutgore Ripper
yeah, see, it's a curse. You don't get shit.
Yeah, I don't get the loot. Now, I'm not going to try and conjure content where there is none to be found, because the truth is this entire Molten Core was just an incredibly standard ordeal. Outside of the loot being really good, there really is nothing to talk about, because, you know, it's Molten Core. Yeah, give me Master Loot now.
We're in combat, so I actually
Ninja
can't.
Perditions.
Oh, yeah. Actually, none of our rogues need it. You're welcome.
I'm gonna take Perditions and leave the Draconic For Dummies. That's actually all I came for.
And fuck your quest and just say fuck it.
It was all a ruse to get rid of Gutgore Ripper. From the very start. Funny joke, right? Perditions actually drops though. Someone's up there, taunting me. You think this is so fucking funny, don't you?
Chapter 8 acquired.
Locked away deep within the Stormwind library sits Chapter 5 of Draconic For Dummies, the final chapter
You have to go through Stormwind? Won't the Alliance members attack you? I don't know if it's like a neutral area, you know? Okay, good luck.
I need to finish my tome. But at peak server hours with an Alliance raid following your every move, one does not simply stealth into Stormwind. And also, if I'm being honest, I've never even been there before. Like, I wouldn't even know where to go.
Really? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, no, I was just about to say you're going to be famous or infamous, you know. As soon as you walk in the gates, people are just going to start following you, watching your every move, you know, being interested. I don't know if someone can actually kill you. That's still something that I need to see, but yeah, you're going to be infamous.
But I do know someone that does. Meet Eddie. And where do I even begin with Eddie, huh? So the thing with Eddie is, he doesn't really understand that he's not human anymore. Arthur's kind of let this guy marinate in the ground a little too long before raising him, and so with only, like, half a brain, he doesn't really get it. He doesn't really get the whole undead thing. But that's okay, because he's harmless and adorable. Look at this little guy. Long ago, the Horde and the Alliance of Grobulus came to an agreement that Eddie would be free to live and fish in Stormwind unbothered, since, can we please just let something pure exist for once? So who better to escort me through Stormwind than the one undead no alliance wants to kill, the one undead who has true diplomatic immunity. Okay, roleplay server, don't fail me now. Library, I announced in human as I walked across the bridge into Stormwind City.
Where is the library?
Oh my god, he's fluent in human too. It was here that Eddie shows me a neat Stormwind trick. If you wave to the guards, they are legally obligated to stop pursuing you and wave back. By spamming a wave macro, you can effectively stun lock guards until you leave their aggro radius. This doesn't work on patrollers though, so keep that in mind as we
How long is this going to last? Oh, this is funny though.
approached the city entrance. We had gathered quite the crowd, but stealth was never an option, so we just have to hope for the best here.
I mean, just look how they're all following you. They're like, you know, just moving as you're moving. It's kind of cute.
Where is the library?
Eddie asked again as he was approached by a swarm of guards that not even the greatest Osu legend would be able to wave macro into submission. I barely had enough time to utter library before we were both forced to take a quick nap. So rude.
I know, right?
I'm just trying to acquire knowledge.
Two perfectly normal humans having a stroll through Stormwind.
Take two.
We come bearing no ill will.
Asserted Eddie as we woke back up in Stormwind. Oh my god, real Janie? Library?
We only seek your knowledge.
Library?
Where is the library?
Library? I was then assassinated by an off-screen menace for being annoying, I suspect.
Barny, no!
At least they left Eddie alive. And he's the main character in all this. It's his Stormwind. We're just stealthing through it. Speaking of, I somehow managed to stealth through the trade district and reconvene with Eddie in the canals.
Hello!
Library?
Could you ladies guide us to the library?
Library?
Library? Library?
Oh my god, they understand.
Yes.
Eddie proclaimed.
Where is it?
Mordrina beckons us over and starts leading us somewhere.
Are these night elves bothering you fine humans?
I said no as Eddie responded.
They seem nice.
Wish I could say the same for the racist guards. I said to Eddie as we waited in the canals for the heat to die down. You know I've drowned people in here?
That never happened.
It did. I just can't be bothered to find the footage right now.
Library, here we come.
Going into this, I didn't know what to expect, but if you told me that I would have a considerable Alliance entourage escorting me to the library, I would have said, yeah, right, at what point do they slit my throat? But here we are, just...
I mean, there's so many of them, and they're all on their mounts, and they're just, you know, following you. This is so weird. Why are they doing this?
taking a nice leisurely stroll through the canals. A few minutes later, we arrived at the library, where I was met with multiple guards and some fucking dweeb named Brungus. Fucking Brungus. And Brungus cut me down just before I managed to collect...
Like, really? He just came in.
Chapter 2, the bastard. But he wasn't gonna get me a second time. I revived, popped a limited invulnerability potion, and enjoyed my 5 seconds of invulnerability as I collected the final chapter of Draconic For Dummies. And you cannot kill me in a way that matters now, Brungus, you fucking brungle bitch.
All chapters acquired.
And so ended the first of many adventures with Eddie. The latter I'm sure you will never see because I'm already over my 1 video per year quota. Do you feel that though? That chill in the air? Something's not right. As I flew to Tanaris, I couldn't help but sense an unsettling aura on the wind. I had just literally walked into Stormwind and obtained the final chapter with barely any resistance. Where was the raid of griefers? They didn't even show up. Maybe they'll jump me at the engineer, I thought, as I...
They can come in anywhere. Just be prepared. That's all you can do.
Pulled up to finally hand in a completed Draconic For Dummies. Quest complete. But there was nary an alliance to be seen. This is the part of the questline where the engineer informs us that he is 99% certain he can create the Arcanite Baba Booey. if he gets a few more items. But don't worry, these are all items I prepared earlier. In fact, this exact quest is why for months, even before bug farming, I was deep in the hives of Silithus farming rich thorium veins. And I didn't care who I had to step on to get to them.
And this is why I'm saying that, you know, you have prepared yourself quite well for these quests, that even if something terrible should happen, you're going to have another backup plan that's going to, you know, kick in, and, you know, you'll have this mount. One way or another, you will have it. I see now.
Something was going to stop me from getting Scarab Lord, it sure as fuck wasn't going to be RNG gems from mining nodes. Quest complete. And finally, I obtained my Arcanite.
Baba Booey.
With one last boss to go and the Alliance griefers nowhere to be seen, I took my summon to Azshara with a great big smile. That mount is so close I can taste it. And then I looked to my left. Oh no! No, no, no! Fuck him up, fuck him up. The underwater combat, the best way to finish. Stupid idiot. What the fuck were they thinking? The Alliance, as is customary around these parts, had completely failed to put a dent in our magnificent Horde war machine. I threw down the Arcanite Baba Booey and summoned the fish who swallowed the blue Scepter gem. And this is where, right on time, the healers fall asleep. He's gonna eat me! Oh my god!
Evasion.
Come on.
17k. Yeah, we are.
10k.
Fuck him up. 5k. Fuck him up. Fuck it up. Hey! Holy shit.
Barney. Get a combat res on Barney. Combat res on Barney B.
Yeah, can we get a combat res on Barny B, guys?
Wow! Blue shard acquired!
Barney, go to Anachronos now before he gets fucking griefed.
You have all three. Now, let's finish this.
Where do you think I'm going? Yeah, thanks for that Pearl of Wisdom. Like, where else was I gonna go? Because now that I had collected all 3 Scepter Shards, it was time to pay Anachronos one final visit. I handed in the green shard. Quest complete. I handed in the blue shard. Quest complete. I am the Might of Kalimdor. Quest complete. With a Scepter of the Shifting Sands.
You did good, Barney.
Oh. So you're probably wondering, but wait, doesn't that mean you get the mount? We're getting to that. Just hold on, okay?
He still has to, you know, hit the gong with it, the scepter. So, yeah. Barney 64 is almost there, yeah.
Because the story's not over. The perceptive among you will have noticed that there are still a few quests to go. These take place in Silithus and unlock at midnight after a brief server restart. This is the countdown that I've been referencing the whole video. And so, with 30 minutes to spare, I made it to the Scarab Gong, sipped my petrification potion to prevent getting griefed when I logged back in, and logged off. 5 hours later.
Hello? Who rang it?
Nobody.
It's a party.
No one.
Ring
There
it.
is no capacity. Nobody can ring it.
not
The
available.
entire
Yeah.
area is like.
Just ring it. So yeah, the servers were so laggy in Silithus. Sorry, I'm watching the footage and it's so... What else was gonna happen? Oh, I have to laugh. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. At the mercy of the Blizzard servers, we stood before the gong for hours on end, with the monotony only broken up by the occasional reveal that, hey, you've actually been dead this whole time. And then, as I waited beyond Death's wispy veil for a res that I definitely clicked like 5 minutes ago, Fuzi of Final Boss had rung the gong.
It was Fuzi!
If you didn't expect this to happen, I don't know what world you're living in.
Finally, we get the fuck out of this place.
But if you think that means things are gonna start getting any less laggier, you are wrong. We are literally just getting started, actually, because now the war event begins. But let's just do this bit first, because I don't want to end on an anticlimax, and we need to get to this part at some point, so... And this is the part of the video that, like, I just have really not wanted to do, and I really don't even want to fucking record it, to be honest. If I sound salty, it is what it is. So this is the part where... as you can tell, my Scarab Lord story comes to an end in all this lag. I wasn't lying when I said I didn't just spend the last 18 or so months with the mount hidden in my bank. And it's so lame to blame someone else, like when you fuck up, right? But like, it's because of Blizzard's fucking stupid ass, laggy ass. Oh, come on, you.
He has it. Barny64 has the mount this whole time. You know, as I'm hearing the explanations here, I'm telling myself that no, Barny64 wouldn't just roll over and just accept things as they are. No. Somehow, some way, Barny64 has the mount this whole freaking time. Well done.
That was how it was gonna end. You guys don't know me at all? What did I say? You're already in my web. You just don't know it yet. I can do anything I put my mind to because my mind would not put me to do things I can't. And because of this, I'm a Scarab Lord, quest complete. And I kept it secret this whole time. You wanna know how I did it? You wanna know how I streamed every day without you guys ever seeing the fucking mount? It really wasn't in my bank. Because I deleted it. And then I've just been like restoring it every 6 weeks using item restoration. But yeah, get owned. Oh, I can say it now. Yes, I did get Scarab Lord. Yes, I do have the mount. I'm swag as hell. And I kept it secret from all of you this whole time. But now, if I may, I'd like to say a few...
Look at all of them just showing off they have the mounts, you know, standing in a line. Hey. Yeah, I know.
Few words. You see, I did this entire questline 11 times, so I'm kind of like a Scarab Lord 11 times over when you really think about it. 11 full Scarab Lord questlines. I was there for all of them. If we weren't doing a quest, I was in Silithus farming.
Except for the Peace Bloom DKP.
And that's not even mentioning the wipes and the failed attempts that we had on some of these quests. So let's just get one thing straight. I'm
nice Naruto music.
not just a Scarab Lord, I'm the Scarab Lord. No one suffered more than me on this questline. Oh, you think you did? I've spent every day for the past 18 months looking at footage of Silithus, looking at footage of this questline. Did you? No. So it is only appropriate that I use my unique position as both a record-holding player and deranged content creator to make the following ask. Blizzard, you gotta make the fucking mount fly, man. Please, Blizzard, please, 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 please. The only people who would be against this are people who are butthurt that they didn't get the mount, and like...
How is it gonna fly though? Nah, I think it should just stay the way it is. Yeah.
Fuck those people, because I have the mount. I wanted to fly. Wrath of the Lich King is my favorite expansion, and we know you're gonna do Wrath of the Lich King Classic, so please let me fly on my Scarab Lord mount in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. I would be so happy. In conclusion, please. Okay, enough begging. It's time to move on to the next part of the quest. Well, you thought that we were done just because I got the mount? Yeah, me too. But no, it turns out there is one more quest left. However, it's not available for completion until after the 10-hour war. What's the 10-hour war, you ask? Well, whilst I do believe that it is far too late in the video now to start doing more exposition, now that the gates of Anchorage are open, the horrors locked away 1,000 years ago have once again been set loose on Silithus and the world of Warcraft. All around the map, resonating crystals will emerge from the terrain, bringing Karaji invasions with them. If you push back enough ads, eventually a unique mob will spawn who, when killed, can drop incredibly rare bind-on equip gear, like Tibu's Blazing Longsword or Alcor's Sunraiser. But not just this. 3 Colossi will also spawn in Silithus, 1 per hive. And they are fucking huge, by the way. The biggest creatures in the game by far.
Whoa, they are really huge. They look like mountains, moving mountains, or hills, you know? Wow.
And fighting these titans is no joke either, because every so often they do this. Whoa!
Yeah. Open your map. Open your map.
Wait, do you die? Do you die when, you know, when it pushes you away so far away like that? Like when you hit the ground, do you just instantly die, or, you know, you're okay? Wow.
He does that. It's so funny.
God, this event is so cool. You forgot you parked the car. It's back. Oh, John, there it goes, there it goes.
Wait, you get yeeted.
There it goes. See, look, there goes everyone. There goes everyone.
Whoa. Did you record that?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's going on?
Why is everyone getting Jotun?
And then, 10 hours later, it was time to finish the questline. I took a summon from inside Anchorage, or rather inside a wall inside Anchorage, don't worry about it, and slowly stealthed my way through the first Alliance blockade. Risking full world buffs moments before I was due to raid AQ40, I perfectly, literally frame perfectly to the point where my GTFO add-on detected I got hit, slipped out through the gates of Anchorage. One last time I climbed that all too familiar staircase of dreams to receive my final reward. A dagger upgrade.
Seriously? Just a dagger upgrade? Okay. Wow.
Beekeeper's log, 22nd of August. So now that the event is all finished, there's a bunch of new quests in Silithus that let you grind reputation with the Cenarian Circle, and I don't really know what we're doing. All I know is I need to get exalted because there's some item I need, so we're gonna meet up with them.
Talk to this guy. You're like, hey, papers, give me. And
Oh,
like, okay.
signed.
And then you bring him back. Where you got it from?
What's combat assignment, logistics, or tactical? What's what?
I'm
So this is for
brain.
Earthstrike. I see. So let's do combat.
Near is brutal. As,
there's like 4 of these things in there.
Yeah, it's 4. Each quest is to kill 30 of a certain kind of bug.
Wait.
Bugs, but no, man, we've gone through that. No, there has to be something else you guys can do than killing bugs. Come on. Oy. No, I'm giving up. I'm sorry. I'm tapping out.
We gotta kill. Wait. We have to kill more bugs? Are you kidding me? Subscribe right now. Subscribe. Please watch my stream. Patreon. Like the video.
Okay, guys, that's it with End of the Line, Barny's Scarab Lord Adventures, World of Warcraft Classic by Barny 64. Yes, the journey is over. Barny has succeeded. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say succeeded. I mean, Barny 64 already had the mount this whole entire time. You know, the past videos and what we've experienced now with the last one is just, you know, Barny being kind to us, us the viewers, you know, just showing us the entire process, all the quests that need to be completed before you're able to create the scepter that you'd hit on the gong and, you know, enter into the arena where you get your mount, you know. So yeah, all of the stuff that has happened before, Barny didn't have to really do it because Barny already had the mount. But yeah, it was enjoyable. It was very, very enjoyable. This last video was also quite interesting. It's about like what, 1 hour long, so I think it's the longest one, or maybe it's the second longest one. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to just double check. But yeah, it was very enjoyable. The different guilds or parties that, you know, joined Barny in completing the quests were also quite funny and enjoyable to watch, you know, as they were all working together to defeat various types of creatures. Then of course, you know, Neferus and his sister, you know, fighting against them as well, and all these other locations where I should say, like, there was an alliance group that was following Barny, you know, trying to corner him, trying to, you know, prevent him from completing his quests. Yeah, those alliance people, they really need to think differently. They really need to, you know, make better plans in trying to corner Horde members who are trying to complete their quests, you know. But they were like a nuisance, really. They were like Team Rocket, coming in here and there, you know, trying to defeat Barny 64 and who's ever with Barny 64 at the time, and they continue to embarrass themselves. Really, they just they were not really much of a serious threat. Not as much as I thought they would be, you know. Because I really thought that they would be the ones to prevent Barny 64 from achieving the completion of the quests. And yeah, it is really some work to be done in this quest line. You know, 32 quests. However, in those quests, there's more quests to be done. So yeah, it was a lot of work. But yeah, the Onyxia battle was quite enjoyable as well. And yeah, guys, I guess that's it with Barny 64. If there's any other videos from Barny 64 that you guys want me to react to, remember you can just send me a request in the comment section below. And remember, if you want to check out the original video as well as Barny 64's YouTube channel, the links are in the description below. If you like my reaction, please give me a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos. And hopefully next week Monday I will be there to react to new World of Warcraft content. Yeah. Okay guys, bye bye.